A good morning. Welcome back to the vlog. We're gonna start today with a little, not quite a life hack. I think this has been popularized by now. This is something I learned about 10 years ago when I was a maintenance guy. And we had these Mr. Clean Magic Scrub Erasers for cleaning like walls, crayon marks or whatever. But one day we used it on our shoes. And it does incredible. It does incredible. So if you have any sort of whitish shoe, it works on all colors, but white always gets so dirty. The Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Definitely this side part, the sole of your shoe. Yeah, buddy.
They can stand up.
Yeah, Rainbow Riders can stand up. Rescue Riders. And it's super easy. Just wet the sponge, scrub it down. What do you know? You came here for yo-yo content. You're walking out with a life hack. Get those shoes back to being clean. We'll see what that does to the netting. I'm not sure what it's going to do to this mesh part. We'll see. I'm only cleaning one shoe so we can compare. Waiting on the mesh part to dry, but we're going to show you before, after. And that's like a quick 20-second rub down. No candy this morning. No. Show me the candy. You had a cheese stick. Where's your cheese stick? What are you doing with those headphones on?
I don't hear anything.
Shoes have dried. Let me show you the difference on the netting. It doesn't quite do as good on the mesh, but it does do some. Right shoe meshed, cleaned. Left shoe not cleaned. You can kind of tell still in those cracks that it needs to be cleaned a little bit better. What's up next? Breakfast. And then today I want to talk about the Luna a little bit. The Luna prototype. It's not a grocery getter. It's a gas and propane getter. You wanna ride your bike? Okay. While JoJo's at school? Easter Bunny brought you that, huh? But first, a little montage at the playground. We just picked up Jonah. But that's in reference to the Luna discussion. The Luna. Some of you have heard about it, some of you haven't. This is the version 1 prototype. The idea behind the Luna started with the case file 003. And if you remember correctly, that is an undersized bimetal with the finger spin dimple, which we've incorporated most of those things. It's organic. It's not undersized. It does have the finger spin dimple, and it's also a bimetal as well. A couple of the changes I made right off the bat with mine. Every once in a while it was a little bit slippery on the binds, and that also leads to a little bit of a thunk when you throw the yo-yo because it slips at the end. It doesn't hold the pads all the way down. So I swapped out the pads, I put some fresh G19s in, and I also swapped it out to the Boss Rage. I kind of like to stick with the Ripper for the competition-based models. This is not likely your competition-based yo-yo. But since this was a Proto, these ones came already installed for me. They tested them at the shop to make sure that they were a smoother yo-yo, like passing rate for them. There's a couple other issues there too, but G19s are a little bit softer on the pads, so they grab a little bit more. I prefer them, less slip, binds better at lower RPMs, but also maybe a little more snaggy at different points of tricks. So it's kind of a, what do you like? So I like that. Swapped out the bearing to the Rage.
Why are you talking?
Why am I talking? I'm filming a video. You okay, dude? Yeah, I'll help you.
Help me and turn it back around and I'll get it back.
I'll turn it around. You'll take it back.
Yeah. Now I do.
Hang on. So dizzy. Food? What do you want? I can get you guys some fruit. Okay, back to the Luna. The things that I love. I was kind of curious about the shape here. How it continues to get larger in diameter the whole way out. It doesn't flatten on the rim. I was worried about that on the catch. It's good. Doesn't hurt at all. Feels top tier comfort in my hand. Playability. I really like the play. It is a little bit lighter feeling, but yet, pardon the bad play, but yet it has the stainless steel rim power. Plays a little bit of a high wallish, just a little bit, and by that I mean when you're going through a trick, if your hands are not in line, that string's going to hit the side of the wall and it will start to tilt your yo-yo. You'll notice that a little bit more than some of the V-shaped or yo-yos with smaller walls. So you do notice that. It keeps you in plane. It's like a powerful agile. Does that even make sense? It keeps its momentum. That probably makes more sense. When you are working through a trick, it keeps its momentum pretty well. I like that part, that aspect of it. That comes with the extra rim weight from the stainless steel rim. It kind of reminds me, and I don't want to throw this out there just because of the difficulty of comparing it to an old yo-yo like this, and it's definitely not a replacement. It's not a version 2, it can't replace it. But it kind of reminds me of the catch and the agile performance of the Trident. But it has more rim weight, so that kind of throws it out. But the catch and the agile, the hoppiness, a little bit like the Trident. Like I said, not a replacement, not going to be a Trident 2. I kind of hesitate to throw that comparison out there. What do I think about it aesthetically? That's where some of the changes are definitely going to come from. This cup area, to me, that's still a little bit too plain. I like to, I'm going to throw a groove or two in there to change the face a bit, kind of give it a little bit of character. The finger spin dimple, with it being this big of a yo-yo, we can't go too deep because then you're going to have too much center weight. And it works. It's not as easy to catch as the 1, 2, and 3 case file series, but this isn't your finger spin trainer. This is you'll be able to catch it if you can do a finger spin. It'll help you if you've never done them before, but it's not going to be as much of a trainer as like the 001 really can lock your finger in there. This locks your finger in there, but it's maybe like 75% as deep as the 001. Stainless steel rim. Still working on the machine shop. They didn't catch this. Body smooth. Put your fingernail on the stainless steel rim. You feel a little bit of vibe. So I think we're going to tuck it back in. This is going to be my suggestion. Push it back in a little bit so that it doesn't kind of protrude right there. It's like dead even on the edge. And see if that can fix the vibe a little bit and adjust the weighting overall a little bit. speckage. It's like 54.92, just sub 55 on the diameter, right around 43 and some change on the width, 64 grams. Do I think the specs are going to change much? I think the weight will be updated slightly, within a gram. Possibly we go a little bit smaller in diameter, and I'm talking like, I kind of like keeping it by the 55. I need to play it some more just to see. So it feels fine in the hand, it's comfortable. But just looking at it, I kind of want to keep flatten out, like we talked about earlier, those rims slightly. So if I did a, you know, 1/3 of a millimeter flatter, so that it has a little flatness right there on the edge of the rim. I don't know. We could keep the diameter. It just changes the design a little bit more in that aspect. So that's where we're at for the V1. I'd love to hear your thoughts. This isn't like the Project C that we're working on with Patreon, where I'm going to basically, the Project C, since it's a Patreon design, Patreon adjustments, then my adjustments. So you guys are playing that second version. I am wanting your feedback because you had input the entire way. The Luna is kind of my design. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? But it's going to hold less weight than what you would say about the Project C. Does that make sense? Just because this is more of a, not a group designed yo-yo. But I do want your feedback, so that reinforces, hey, I like whatever it is. I like the weight of it. I like how much stability there is, that there's not overly much, but it has enough. I like the, you know, I like the way it plays. I would like it to play a little, whatever you want it to play, faster, slower. I'm not really asking you to say, hey, can you take off 1/2 gram? Can you add 1/2 gram? Can we add a little to the, you know, can we add 0.5 to the width? Or maybe you just say it plays a little narrow. That's the type of feedback, more general feedback for what direction to go with. But yeah, that's kind of the Luna V1 that I wanted to talk about with you today. That's where we're at. I'm not going to make the final changes for another week or two. Not final. I'll have another prototype done to confirm it, the changes that I make. And I think right now it's going to be very minor changes, mostly aesthetic. I like the play. I just want to get that SS rim on the inside smooth to the touch. You don't feel it on the string. You don't feel it when you touch the body. You don't feel it when you touch the rim of the aluminum. It's just when you touch the SS can you feel a little bit of that vibe. So I just it bothers me. It needs to be perfect. That's the biggest thing I want to mess with, and the aesthetic. Right now, I'm pretty happy with the play. I think it is different than everything we have, and it kind of has its own little niche spot in the G2 lineup. We'll talk about it more over time, but that's where we're at. I know a lot of you are curious about it if you weren't on the Patreon, so that's what the Luna V1 is. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Same place, same time.